All right, I'm back for Dostios's ongoing coverage of IEM Dallas 2025, and I'm here with a very special guest. You might not remember him without recognize him without the tie, but Jason Lake, owner, CEO, the big man himself from Complexity. So first, great to see you here in Dallas. What brings you out to Dallas this weekend?
I was telling my son, like, we thought about going up to the lake this weekend, but I'm like, I've been to the IEMs in Rio and just got back from Melbourne. Like, I have to go. It's in Dallas. Like, whenever people bring esports to this region and Texas specifically, I'm going to do my best to always show up. So really happy to be here. It's a great event. There's so many awesome fans, and I'm having a great time.
And you just got here, right? Have you been sneaking around kind of incognito? I mentioned you don't have the whole ensemble on, so it's mainly just a little fun trip. Has anyone noticed you so far?
Yeah, there's always nice fans that see me walking around and come up and say hello, and that means the world to me. Yeah, I'm a little incognito, just chill, enjoying this nice day and this nice event, and the great production that they always put on here. I like DreamHack very much because I think it harkens back to the community culture and the old BYOCs of yesteryear, and IEM is always fantastic to attend, and the crowd's always great, so having a good time.
So we're going to get down into business now about Complexity. Of course, we didn't get a chance to see Complexity here at Dallas, but we are going to get to see the team heading into Austin. A big moment for Complexity. I mean, other than Halzark, who unfortunately is going to be missing it, with him being out of the roster, it's a full American roster, which is something we haven't seen from Complexity in some time. And we have two real young guns in Danny and Nick X. What does that mean for you to have like such a young squad back again of really hungry guys like that at an American major?
I think it's pretty special. I mean, obviously, we would prefer to play with Halzark. He's an important part of the team, but being able to snag Junior and have all these Americans running around is a unique opportunity, too. We've been trying to be devoted to the North American scene as much as humanly possible. I think everybody knows that about us from our Revival series and from our player recruiting. And so far, we're really happy with how the team's been performing. I'm a little concerned because we've had such a long break without officials. We haven't played since we were in Australia. I would have loved to have played here, but they run the qualifier when we're playing over in Europe, which is a bit frustrating. But either way, I'm really happy the team is there. The OG stickers are back in the game, which is fantastic, and we're very excited for Austin.
I think maybe with that you've ruined some people's investment portfolios. I think those Complexity Cato stickers were some people's 401ks, so I'm sure you'll be hearing about that. But let's talk about what's been going on in Complexity recently. Obviously, this is like the first year since Complexity split off and became its own brand, parting ways from GameSquare. How has that been, sort of being back independent again, not attached to a larger firm like that? What are the challenges? What are the triumphs, etc. in this first year of a new era?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've really enjoyed kind of being back to the old school way of doing things. The honest to God truth is the economy is incredibly difficult in esports right now. We're out here battling to keep our heads above water, and I've been pretty honest and transparent. I've done some behind the scenes kind of community videos where I've been really open with our community about some of the challenges we have. In Counter-Strike specifically, a lot of the ecosystem is funded by betting partners, and betting partners are reticent to work with American teams, which has made it challenging. If you've got a European team doing $3 or $4 million a year from a betting partner, and you're an American-based Counter-Strike team that's not, you're bidding for the same players, you want to be competitive with salaries, you got same travel budgets, if not more. It's definitely been challenging. But it's also been really nice to just kind of get back to our roots, really re-engage with our community. We hang out on Discord and shoot the shit with our fans every single day. And I feel very blessed to be able to do this for as long as I have. I was literally praying yesterday morning, a long time ago I prayed to God, I just want to do this full time because it was kind of my side hustle, and I want to be able to take care of my family and build something special. And I believe in Complexity. We have built something special over the last 22 years now in a couple months. So I feel like a very blessed person. I'm very fortunate and grateful to work with so many amazing people over the years in Complexity, and God willing, we'll keep it going.
With that longevity, it has come with multiple ups and downs, multiple you've seen every single type of ecosystem possible to compete in an esport. We went from the completely openness of 1.6 to the franchise of the CGS to the Louvre agreement to We're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on that CGS book one day. I think Richard Lewis is one day. I'm praying for him to come up with that book because it's going to be a wild ride, right? But you've seen and done kind of every method of how we would formulate an esport. The big talk now is the VRS system and how that's kind of treating orgs and treating teams. What are your thoughts on that? Like, has that been a good arrangement for you guys? Have you enjoyed it or struggle with it? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely lived through pretty much every iteration of esports, and I think each iteration has its positives and its negatives and its challenges. And now, of course, post-Louvre agreement, and we're in the VRS system. You could definitely do an entire interview about VRS, and we have our own internal expert with Graham, our CSGM. There's definitely been some frustrations. Like, for example, they locked in the major and kind of where you were so early, and things in North America at least changed drastically during that time. We went on a nice run, but I think any system like this is going to have ups and downs. I appreciate that Valve continues to kind of tweak it and improve the system. Being an American team, and I've talked about this before, comes with a lot of challenges. A lot of times we're playing in Europe and they're holding North American qualifiers for like this event. Like, we can't be in two continents at the same time, which is a bit frustrating. But we're going to do our best and keep focusing on our community, keep focusing on competitive excellence, and just hope this VR system continues to improve and creates a nice global ecosystem for all the orgs.
You mentioned Graham there for a second, Mnmzzz, your general manager. For one, he's one of the only people in the world, maybe like a handful of people who know the VRS system in and out. He's often someone I turn to myself to be like, hey, is this allowed? Is this kosher? But earlier you mentioned sort of how how transparent and how open the community you are, and your sort of willingness to talk with all the fans. And he's sort of very similar in that regard. I will say, I'll tell you, we have a pretty small DustVS Discord, and it's maybe like a good half dozen people who are regularly talking in there. One of those people who regularly is talking in there is Mnmzzz, which is kind of insane. I don't know when the guy sleeps. He's on the Wikipedia Discord talking to people. He's on Twitter. He's hosting a show now. He must be a real. Must not need a lot of sleep. But with that, on a more macro point, he's pretty unique among managers at an esports org because of that willingness to engage with the community so much and to almost be a lightning rod for discussion. What's your relationship like with Mnmzzz, having such a unique guy kind of helping hold up the Counter-Strike division?
I think our relationship is fantastic. We feel incredibly fortunate to have him as our manager. All the things you said are true, and I think he has that complexity DNA that really harkens back a couple decades. He's passionate about what he does. It's not just showing up to work and clocking in and clocking out. Like he said, it's like, when does he sleep? He'll be chatting with fans at all hours of the day and night and in different Discords and engaging across social media because he loves what he does. And that really gets down to the root and the heart of why complexity has been around for 22 years. So, yeah, it's an absolute pleasure working with him. We feel fortunate to have him, and I think he feels the same. He's part of the family.
And great hair too, right?
Better hair than me, for sure, yes.
Now, so something else I kind of wanted to pick your brain on is we saw that shock announcement, I think maybe a week and a half now, for that event that seemingly popped out of nowhere, Global Domination Invasion, and we did some pretty extensive reporting on that. But I will say it's a pretty bad sign when you and then me don't know something's going on in the NA space. Yeah. Did that you publicly said that took you by complete surprise. What have you heard since then that you can share? Is there anything you can share with us now? And what do you think? What's your take on that event? Does it kind of scare you a little bit? Maybe make you nervous about it happening?
I mean, we're pretty clear that we're passionate supporters of Counter-Strike in North America. So we don't want to aggressively come out against any group that's trying to add competitive structure to the North American scene. But we definitely are a bit cynical. You keep seeing this event and that event, and they make these big promises. They do a couple interviews, and they disappear. It's like, piss off, man. Just don't come at all, right? Because you make our scene look like a clown fiesta. You act like you can come in and do this big grandiose program, and then you don't deliver shit. So when there's big announcements about $1 million events and they haven't talked to some of the people across the North American ecosystem, my first reaction is always going to be optimistic cynicism. I hope you're legit. I hope you're going to deliver a great product for Counter-Strike fans and players and orgs in North America, but until you prove it, I'm going to be a bit cynical. I haven't heard anything additional about that event other than your great reporting over at Dust 2. So let's hope they can put it together. The fact they hadn't considered visas and some of these other things is definitely concerning, but let's attribute good intentions and hope that they're learning and they're going to learn quickly, because they didn't give much runway. I wish them the very best of luck for a super successful event, but they need to show up and prove it before they've earned the trust of our community.
Yeah, I think definitely, we saw last year almost exact same situation with USCA, and you were pretty excited about that, at least publicly, and then they did some really great interviews, and then we never heard from them again. So you got to be really careful about these things. It kind of reminds me of the old scam tournaments we would have in Source in 1.6 in the history books, where they would promise a lot and then you get some money, get some sponsors, and you never hear from the guys again, right? Final question for you: Complexity heading into their first major in America in many years with the classic logo with an American team. Starting in stage one, how are you feeling about the team's chances at this major?
It's always difficult when you've got to sub in a player, and when you've got to sub in your AUPR or your IGL, it makes it even arguably more challenging. But Junior's been working super hard to fill in. Halzerk's been in practice kind of helping him and guiding him as how he approaches our system. So we're going to go out to Austin and have fun. I do think we'll get past stage one, but if we get upset with a sub, it's just unfortunate. We've been working on Halzerk's P1 for over a year. The U.S. immigration system can be extremely frustrating at times. It's not like we were incompetent or not on top of it, because we have been, and we still remain stymied. We'll probably get that visa in like August, September or something like that. But not being able to have him at the major is unfortunate. We're really thankful to Junior for stepping in. And I just hope our guys and our fans really just enjoy the moment. I think having a major back in the United States, and I'm a little biased because of Texas, because when we were driving up here today, I showed the hotel, and I was telling my son, I'm like, that's where Redemption was filmed. Like, this is where we used to come twice a year. I lived in Atlanta at the time. We'd fly into Dallas, we'd go to that hotel, down to the ballroom, and we'd battle all the best European teams. So I think Texas is always going to have a special place in American Counter-Strike history and lore. So I'm really excited about the event. I hope to get over there and meet some of the fans, and hope our players really soak it in. It's a special moment.
Yeah, the Hyatt Regency right out there is a real mecca of NA Counter-Strike. So thank you so much for your time, Jason. I'll let you go keep enjoying the event, and hopefully we'll see some, maybe, I don't know if you saw it, we have an American Impact team in the finals tomorrow, so at least there will be some NACS in the Kay Bailey. Thank you so much for your time.